Recording is on. It is the 12th of August 2022, and we are on a UX research call with the Galoy team. Galoy team? We, we have Andrew and we have Millie. Do you guys want to do a quick introduction, maybe?
Sure. Like about yourself or Galoy?
Both.
Okay. Well, I'm Millie. I'm a designer at Galoy. Mainly focus on the app right now. I'm gonna let Andrew present.
I'm Andrew, marketing at Galoy. We build Bitcoin native banking infrastructure. And so what that means is we build software, open source software that organizations can use to launch a bank, launch wallets, enable lightning payments. We built the Bitcoin Beach wallet, and so that was the proof of concept of Galoy open source core banking stack. And that is what is a primary experience that we're usually looking at when we're thinking about user experience, iteration, and evolution and design. And I think that's what brings us here today. We recently announced a significant feature called Stable Sats, which is bringing USD accounts into Lightning wallets, which is like a little bit crazy and a big update, and it allows people to receive dollars and send dollars over Lightning and hold dollars, and which is really important for people that don't have bank accounts but are living on Bitcoin. And so I think that's a little bit of a backdrop for our recent discussions around UX research and usability testing. But lastly, as I've mentioned in recent calls, my background involves quite a bit of user research in different ways, and so I'm keen to be participating in the UX research chats for Bitcoin design, just to kind of like help us develop some tools and templates. So I'm really excited about what you're doing, Mo.
Love it. I love it that you're excited about what I'm doing. I am as well. I'm very excited about what I'm doing. And it's good because, Millie and myself have already been working together for quite a long period. Hi, Gabby. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We were just doing some quick introductions. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Gabriela Mejia. I like to everyone to call me Gabby. I'm currently in the position of marketing director in Bitcoin Beach Wallet. So I'm really happy to join with you guys and to hear about the UX expert.
Yeah, I shot the invite over to Gabby. I mean, she's been working on developing some test plans on the ground. So I think with this group here, we have really a little bit of the full cycle, right? We've got design, we've got Gabby who's connecting with people on the ground on a daily basis, and then we've got the ability to develop toolkits and templates or use them. So
Love it. Love it. This is a really exciting time. And I also like it that I've already been working together with Millie. So we already have that fluidity in our working relationship. So that's really good. I'm excited. Yeah. So where do you guys want to start? Do you want to talk about why you maybe are thinking about doing usability tests in particular? And yeah.
Yeah. I can start. So, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in the app right now. Yes, we have the USD denomination feature. I mean, we want to make sure that people understand that feature, that they don't go, like, for example, to a bank account, to a bank and say, oh, I have USD. It doesn't really work that way. And also to understand like the benefits of that feature. Another part is currently the support tickets that Bitcoin Beach Wallet is getting. So the main tickets that I would say is regarding the send and receive flow, because people don't really understand how to use the QR code to send payment or to receive payments. They don't know the difference between a Lightning and an on-chain transaction. They don't know that on-chain it takes a little bit more time to get confirmed
Mm-hmm.
versus Lightning, it's instant. They don't know as well that transactions are irreversible, and there've been requests of reverting transaction because people are using to go to a bank and ask to revert the transaction, and often that happens because they mistype the username, and then they send the money to the wrong person
Wow.
because there's a small difference in spelling. Another thing too is people believe that the Bitcoin Beach username sort of work across the apps. Like you can put a Strike username in the app and it will send to Strike, but no, it's not the case. Like usernames are only within Bitcoin Beach usernames only within Bitcoin Beach. Another thing,
Wow, there's a lot of stuff.
yeah,
We can jump into Fig Jam after this if you guys are okay with that, and just make some sticky notes, some stickies, because I'm making notes now on my in my book. But
mhm,
Millie has it all in her head, so
yeah. Another thing is there's a small other support tickets here and there. For example, they don't know exactly how to hide their balance.
hmm.
Right now, you have to go to settings and then sort of activate the hide balance feature, and then after you can hide it.
Yeah,
There's not really onboarding process when someone downloads the app. um, People have been requesting like how to install the app, right?
yeah,
Um, at first, I was a little bit like not. I mean, I guess surprised, but I guess I'm just used to the tech. But to me, it was obvious. Oh, I mean, you go to Google Store or Google Play Store and or App Store and you download it and it's done. But no, it's not. It doesn't work that way. And also, people have been asking for how they can track their transaction.
hmm,
Um, yeah, and there is also another problem that is a little bit of a bigger problem, but I don't know how exactly it pertains to the app itself.
hmm,
But people are getting scammed basically, and so there's scammers that ask the user if you make an investment, let's say of $500, you will have a return of 1% daily,
yeah,
and we will give you that return to your Bitcoin Beach wallet. So the user gives the $500, the scammer keeps it, he never sends the money, but he says that he sends the money to Bitcoin Beach wallet, and there's like a confirmation screen with a check on it. And then when the user sees in their Bitcoin Beach wallet they don't have the money, they're thinking that Bitcoin Beach has stole
scam
it,
them.
basically. Yeah.
No,
Instead of thinking that you got scammed, like, so there's also this thing that is happening.
it's a trust issue really, because it's like they're being scammed, so that results in them maybe not trusting the wallet. Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit. I think there's probably a lot of marketing education that needs to be done there, probably.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, maybe there's a way we can notify the people on the app, or at least educate them. Like, if the scammer doesn't give you like a proof, like a hash or the secret, like no,
Then
the
that you
transaction.
trust them. So it's like almost trying, maybe educating them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's, I would say, like, yeah, almost like three parts. There's the scammer problem, there's the send and receive flow issues, and then there's the USD denomination feature. Yeah.
So you've grouped them. Okay. Payment feature. And the $1 million question, because when we do UX research, we always ask ourselves, are we using the right UX research tool? So why do you guys think that the usability test is like the best way to go to maybe solve this and find out more information?
Um,
If I can chime in there, I think like at least the way I'm thinking about especially the sort of the things that Millie is talking about, and actually like our collective work is the development of a good process for intake, like intaking like information from analytics or users, or and then determining what research method is best to answer that, and enabling like providing with like Gabby as well, like really quick and efficient tools for getting the right answer to the right thing, because like we don't need to design, develop, and like A/B test a feature that like when a phone call to somebody and says, "Hey, do you understand this term?" Right, or something like. And so, I think to me, it's like the biggest thing that we could benefit from is that decision tree of the process to say like, okay, like for each of these items, like for instance, things that Millie is like, how do we answer this question with the least amount of effort possible, so that we're not moving forward to necessarily a usability test for something that could have been solved in another way. And so yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always good to ask yourself, like, is that pro tool going the best tool for us? And I think, I mean, how do you guys feel about just, jumping into FigJam? Millie's really added some really good points here, which I've made notes on, but it might be good as a starting point, to start with why. Like, well, actually, it feels not like it's the why, but it feels like these are all the little problems, the little problems that you guys want to solve.
Mhm.
And then we can maybe just put them on sticky notes. We can just jam together on FigJam. Put them in sticky notes. Maybe just group them. I think that would be possible in this session. What do you think about that, Millie and Andrew? And then
Yeah.
see where we go from there. Um,
Yeah, let's do
yeah,
it.
I have a file, but we can change it to suit our needs, because this was the one that we used for Blixt. And I just feel a bit intuitively that we'll have to change this one. Millie's already seen this one. Um, I just copied and
Mhm.
pasted the one that we used in Blixt.
Cool.
Yes.
Um,
Just
is
to
that,
add, also, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mo.
yeah,
Just to add, you mentioned a really great question, which is the bigger problem, and I think we need to um, get to the users the more easy way right now, because we all know how the app works and how to make transactions and stuff, but the target that we are trying to get the app, it's a target that it doesn't have a lot of knowledge. There is a lack of education right now, so I think if we make this kind of effort, it will be better for them just to understand and to make them easy, because the word Bitcoin here in El Salvador is a complicated word right now. So um, just to have like a gradually adoption and for the app also, it will be like really great just to make those improvements that in a long run it could be a great opportunity to our users.
yeah. You've said something very important, because you have your feet in the ground, so you're actually living the experience of the user. So that's really nice to have you on the Galoy team. They must be really happy with you, I guess. I see someone else has jumped on, but I can't quite see their name.
Mm, Satyam.
The other thing, while
Yeah,
Satyam,
good.
mhm. Oh, all right, we lost them. I was just going to mention on that note, what something that I've been thinking about a lot. This is a bit of a side note, but is because we have the Bitcoin Beach Wallet team on the ground in the with access to folks in El Zante and in San Salvador, people who were Bitcoin, merchants adopted Bitcoin or accept Bitcoin, is every time I see something in the Bitcoin design channel where they're like, hey, BIP21 codes, like, and oh, like, and there's a question like, oh, what about people with like, that have like poor cameras on their cell phones? Will it work? Right? Like, I feel like the Bitcoin Beach wallet team would be such a valuable resource to the Bitcoin design community as well. That there's like a really nice sort of convergence between like the problems that the Bitcoin design community is trying to solve, and then the problems that BBW team is trying to solve on a small scale. And so that's why I'm excited that Gabby, that you joined, because I think that we have, as Millie mentioned, quite a few tasks, questions to answer, research questions to answer. But I think that there's a big opportunity here to have like the BBW team as a resource for designers of all wallets. So.
I think I love the target audience that you guys have as well, if I understand it correctly, are really those users who just, I don't even know what opening a channel is. What is that even? What is a channel? That's just because, if we can actually understand the problems of these like baseline users, like the pain points of them, then that's going to have lead to more adoption, of course, because if you can get the person who knows nothing about Lightning or Bitcoin to use the wallet or understand it, then people can use it. It's usable. So I'm just gonna, hey Satyam, welcome to the call. Thank you so much for joining. We've just been. Feel free to unmute yourself. You're more than welcome to talk during this call.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just did a quick introduction. We just introduced ourselves, and then we were going to hop into Figma. But this is the Galoy team. Would you like to maybe do a quick introduction?
Yeah. Yeah. Hi there. I'm Satyam. I'm a junior product designer based in India, and
Nice.
I recently wanted to contribute in open source design, so that's why I'm here.
Oh, we've lost
Cool.
Gabby. Very,
Awesome.
very nice to have you here. This is the team from Galoy, and they're working on the Bitcoin Beach wallet. And Millie has just, educated us a little bit about some of the problems that the users are facing, which they found through their tickets. So we were now going to hop into FigJam, and we were going to just try to make some sticky notes and see where we go from there. This is just
Yeah.
completely fluid process. So I'm not sure if you can access the link, the Figma
Yeah.
link.
Like I can.
Yeah, you can see it. All right. Feel free to hop into that FigJam document.
Mm-hmm.
I see Millie's already in there. I'm just going to give everyone editing. Cool. Gabby. Okay, so Gabby's on her way. So I guess the starting question would not be what do we want to find out? We would have to go even one step further because I feel like we need to add in all these things that Millie's just mentioned. So I'm just going to actually create some space here. And I'm going to just do this. And I'm going to create this with a heading that maybe says current problems our users face. And I guess we can change that title if it's not appropriate. Cool. You guys are just jumping in. Love it. So feel free, grab a sticky and let's just add to that list. And Satyam, I know you missed the earlier part of the call, but how you can actually help is you can maybe start to ask us questions about problems that you think the users might be facing around specific areas. So that will allow us to come up with more, sticky notes.
Like I've never used the Bitcoin wallet, so how would
Okay.
I?
You can also just watch for this beginning part, and then when we move to the
Okay, okay.
next, you can jump in.
I'm here.
Um, will just share my screen as well, just so that when this is recorded, that it's nice for, if someone rewatches the video, then they can have a look at the picture as well. Okay.
Well, can you give me access to
Oh,
to
yeah,
because
100%. I am just doing that now, and you should have access, Gabriella. Thank you.
The interoperability of usernames is such an interesting, or the lack of interoperability of usernames is such an interesting problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you mean by interoperable? So they thinking that they can use it across the various apps.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The lack of shared usernames, I guess.
Yep, that is an interesting one.
I feel like Lightning Address is part of a solution there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually what. So there's in the Slack group. There's also Bolt Fun, and Bolt Fun are currently building an interface, and actually their entire user profile gets automatically created using the Lightning address.
Interesting.
Mm.
So
What is lightning address, by the way?
what is a Lightning address? It's like a bank account number. You could say it's like a bank account number, but instead of being a bank account number, it's like a long string of numbers and letters. And that's actually how people who have a Lightning wallet can actually send money to each other.
And it looks like an email address. So if you wanted to send me sats, you could send to agbegin@pay.bbw.sv, and like it's like sending an email, but instead of sending an email, you're sending sats.
Yep.
And how can we create that?
What was that?
How can we create that?
To create it, if you have a account with if you set up a wallet, so if you download the Bitcoin Beach wallet or Strike or any of these many of not any but many like Wallet of Satoshi or something, they provide you with a Lightning address which you could use to receive sats to.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm gonna make more space here because we need more space.
Satyam, one interesting thing for you being a little bit newer would love to, if you are able to download the Bitcoin Beach wallet and go through the process and
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Let me download that right now.
Yeah, go
capture
ahead. Go to the App Store and have a look for it. Go have a look for it. Good one. Good one.
capture screenshots. Maybe if you drop screenshots into Figma and or questions that you have, like even like you just said, what does Lightning address mean? Because a lot of us are so steeped and buried in details that we forget that we're using terminology
Yep.
that is not like common nomenclature for like somebody who's new.
Just let me know when you guys, there's no time limit, just as long as we get all of those pain points out. And these pain points are coming mostly from the tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, maybe except the USD stuff, but it's just because it's so new that we
Yeah.
don't know yet if they.
So I'm guessing you guys get like more than one ticket for the same type of question. So,
Yeah.
okay. Is there a way to like, you know, um, count how many tickets you've had for like we don't understand that on chain is slower, or is there like is it difficult to group that and count that at the stage, because at the moment they're just tickets in GitHub, I'm guessing, or in your
So these are like customer support tickets. So there's Salim, who's a customer guy at Bitcoin Beach Wallet,
yeah.
and it basically when you receive like requests from customers. I had an interview with him, like going through all these support tickets, and he pointed to me like the most recurrent ones.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you like a number to it because there was a huge list. Like there was like a 30 list, and he showed me like maybe between 5 or 8 that were the most recurrent, and the
Okay.
one that I told you are the ones that are the most
So
recurrent
he was
that are
able to
coming.
sort them in the customer
Yeah.
service interface. Oh, that's really good. Really good. Just gonna retype this. Nice. Okay. So let me know when you guys are finished with the sticky notes. But as I said, no rush. Absolutely no rush. And I think what happens with tickets being constantly generated is that customer service stays busy. And we can maybe come up with solutions of fixing this. Coming up with solutions to fix this, which would then result in customer service being less busy, I guess.
That was my comment on the call that Millie and I just got off. I said I want to name this project like save save Salim's inbox.
Oh,
It's like
save
uh,
some news inbox. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
Salim is really busy doing all the work and receiving all the
ticket.
questions that people have. So, yeah, he needs a hand.
Yeah, hat off to him. Oh, we have Jacob just jumping on. Yay, how nice. Nice of you to join, Jacob.
Hi, but I'll be mostly listening because I'm still doing some tasks.
Yeah, no worries. We are this is the Galoy team, and we have Satyam who's joined as well. So we're just jamming on Fig Jam. They've got some tickets, some customer issues that have come up consistently. So they're just adding those issues into the Fig Jam document. I'm not sure if you can see the link actually. Can you see the link, or should I resend it?
Yeah, I got it. I got
You
it.
can see it? All right. I will give you access as well then.
Gabby, when you say in the tickets user don't know how to cash in, do you mean like they don't know how to buy Bitcoin to start like transacting? Oh, she's not there.
Oh, she's
Oops.
oh no, connection. Okay. A good question, Millie.
Yeah, because I remember I had a call with Javier, who's the product owner at Bitcoin Beach Wallet, and he
Yeah.
was telling me like one of the issues like where people start to get Bitcoin.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good.
Gabriella is still in the Fig Jam document, so that's good.
Yeah, I should probably come back.
Yeah, so we have all of these. Is it an idea to kind of just all read through these sticky notes together and just get a little bit of a feeling if there's any duplicates? Um, I think we're trying to maybe look for some trends um, in the pain points, and then maybe we can start to group these pain points into groups.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my connection. I don't know, Millie, if you want to ask me something.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, you put on a sticky note that user don't know how to cash in. Do you mean by that that user don't know how to buy Bitcoin first to be able to?
Yeah, one problem that I have, well, I've been like speaking with a lot of people just to get some feedback, and the major question that they ask is that one. I know that is a bigger problem to fix on the Bitcoin industry here in El Salvador, because the cash-in is a problem that not only Bitcoin Beach Wallet has, but I think it will be nice just to have
Right?
like a few like hints or help that people can get just to understand better our product, because my mission here is that people download the app and they know right away what to do. So I think it will be, I think it's a lot, but I think we can work out maybe a way just to them to understand through design. I don't know if it's on the top of my mind.
Yeah.
I think that speaking about like where these might fall into groups, like I think about so some of these might fall into education, like a lot of these are education, right? And like educating somebody with the right bit of information at the right time can go a long way to
Yeah.
like reducing Salim's inbox, uh, um, which I'll just use as a fun goal of ours. And then the another one is like maybe potentially interaction or UX like design of something, right? That might be a friction point or confusing, right? And so there's like messaging, maybe like messaging versus user experience or interaction design would be like two ways to group things. I know there's many different ways to group things, but
Yeah. Yeah,
at
say
least I
say
think
that
a lot
again
of these.
because you're really coming up with a really good point. Can you I did that just so we could group it according to like, okay, this has all to do with the receive, but then you're saying we could group it in another way as well.
Yeah, well, I was thinking like, and these may not be the right words, but education or messaging versus UX or like the design of the actual interaction itself. So can you fix it by putting the right words in the right place to help somebody understand? Um, or is there a UX feature or change that could be made to eliminate the problem, right, without any.
I like what you're saying because maybe what we could do is we could use the stamp tool, and then we can stamp one stamp can represent education, or I don't know, category education, and one category can be UX, and then we can just stamp it with what we think might solve that. And then we could even then maybe group it only after that. You know? If that does
Hmm.
it make sense what I said? I don't know if that will work. I'm literally just thinking out loud. Like I'm totally fluidly going through this whole process. But I like what Andrew said because he's like, maybe that problem can be fixed with educating people. Maybe it's an interface problem,
Yeah.
a UX problem.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, it feels because you educate on the interface, or you're saying, oh, but it could be like it
It's
maybe
yeah,
UX is not the
it's not
right.
a perfect. It's not a perfect. They're not mutually exclusive, right?
Yeah.
There's certain problems that could be solved with one or the other, right? Like you could argue that better
Yeah,
design, you don't need to tell people what to do if the design itself
yeah.
leads you in the appropriate direction. So, but to your point, if you're using stamps or tags of some sort, then it could be both, right? It could be like because there are certain
Ones that would touch on both.
yeah, yeah.
But I had the same feeling as you did, Andrew. Like when I skim read through all of the sticky notes, there was education, education, education coming up. So I really like this idea of yours. What does everyone else feel like? Do you think it's a good idea to make like
Um,
one stamp with representing education, another one design, and then we kind of just stamp it? Everyone just stamps.
I
Yeah.
feel I agree with Andrew, and I think it will be nice if then we prioritize Salim's inbox, because I think that will be we will give it a hand to him, and it will be nice just to
Yeah.
start with the bigger things.
Prioritizing is really important. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's see what shall we use? We go to the stamp tool. Okay. So green for education. The green thumb for education, and I don't know, the star for UX. Green star represents education. I'll just write a note under that. I don't know why I associate green with education, but so green means education, green thumb means education, and the star means that that's a design. We think that that's a UX thing. So everyone feel free to just start stamping away within the FigJam document.
What's the difference between star and
Oh,
thumbs?
I didn't change the text there. Good point. UX design. Does it sound good? What do you guys think if I call it UX/design?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
There's one other maybe organizing principle that we could think about, which is placing these along the user customer journey or whatever, for lack of a better word, but to say like the stages.
100%.
And I think, Mo, you were kind of getting at this with like receiving transactions, right? That could be within use. Like for one is like get the app, two is use the app.
100%.
Within use it, there's like certain stages. Anyway, this
Yeah.
might be helpful as we're doing any testing. We could say, okay, like we're going to test these features, which are about getting the app, right? And
So we could, as a next step, to follow on your train of thought, we could create some groupings. So like onboarding, create wallet, send, receive, and then we have the journey, the user journey, very loosely, and then we can put them underneath each heading. Yeah, I like that. Good one.
yeah, and I think where we end up is probably maybe, and there's things that Gabby that you could be testing like on already. Like you could go out and be asking people for what there's certain things that might fall into like design, and we need to like try something new and design something to test. There's other things which could be maybe tested. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I'm actually gonna go. I'll just. You guys are still with the sticky, so I'm gonna create another section here, which we can just call it the user journey section. I'll just move these ones along. Okay. So let's grab another one of these. Call this the user journey. Yep. And then we're gonna place a couple of headings underneath that, kind of like a very loose user journey, which it is for now because it's yeah. Okay, so onboarding.
Should we I'm like getting ahead of us, but like when we drag stickies over, maybe we leave the
Originals.
originals there, and you can click Option or Control and drag, so it creates a copy of it, so that we don't lose like the original layout of it.
100%.
Cool.
And if I get the flow wrong here, that's where you come in, Millie. So yeah, so is the okay, shall we just make a copy of these ones just to be safe? It seems like everyone's finished in that original one, so I'm just going to copy, paste. We have a copy, so feel free to drag those in underneath where you think that goes in the user flow.
Millie, would you say that create wallet would be like maybe I don't know. I think in this case, like the wallet is there, but you need to authenticate, or you need to, I don't know what it what it. I think I don't know. We don't I guess need to get hung up on the terms themselves. So maybe I'll be quiet, but it's
No,
more
no,
like
go ahead, Andrew. What were you saying? What were you
onboarding. So there's like, I think maybe we would do so right now you use a phone number, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, a phone number um, to enable your Bitcoin Beach wallet. Is that correct? So maybe instead of create wallet, it's like set up.
set up? Okay, sure.
Set up, authenticate, or something like that.
Okay. Send, receive. Maybe transactions is another one. It's not exactly in the user flow. It's not exactly at this exact point, but I'll just create one for it anyway. Okay. So now are we going to just move those sticky notes underneath each part of the user journey where we feel that fits in? Does that make sense to everyone?
Millie, you're on mute.
Is everyone okay with that?
It sounds
Sorry.
good to me.
Yes.
Just one comment from me. It's just maybe I'm sticking into the words there, but fund wallet, it's not like they could, let's say they authenticate the wallet, they could already receive some money.
Oh,
So that's the thing, but they could not send, obviously. So yeah.
so they could receive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when do they actually, with the funding with on-chain, well, they can fund you through their bank accounts as well, if I understood correctly.
No, they can't.
Not
They
at
can't.
okay.
Yeah.
So they're funding with on-chain. And where does that happen during the process?
You don't, like, what I'm trying to say is like you don't really need to
On.
fund the wallet. Like you have the wallet, you can start receiving right away. However, if you want to send, you need to receive some money first. That's like for sure.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So if there's any parts to this user flow that we've not added in, I see Andrew's also busy there. Just feel free to. So now we can does everyone feel okay with jumping into the sticky notes and just, when you drag it, if you can maybe drag it with all of the thumbs and the stars on it, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Oops, now I'm muted. I said I added one for merchant experience. It's kind of like not for everybody, but for a segment. So
Okay.
people who are merchants receiving to Bitcoin Beach Wallet.
I think what might happen is if we all end up dragging over, that we might end up doing duplicates. That's the only thing.
So, do you want to say what's on the sticky note and we tell you where to move it?
Yeah, maybe we can all just discuss that. Yeah, that's a good one because then we prevent having duplicates. So Millie moves the sticky note underneath the part of the flow, and then we just discuss out loud where we think that goes in the flow. Does that sound good to everyone?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, because then we'll prevent having duplicates, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I have to leave because I have another meeting. But definitely keep me updated and count on our support just to do whatever stuff we need to do to improve our Bitcoin Beach wallet and to help inbox Salim.
Love your passion and really thank you for joining on the call. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Nice to meet you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
See you,
Gabby.
Gabby.
Bye.
So guys, feel free to discuss. Yeah. So we just, users are new to Bitcoin and don't know transactions are irreversible. Where does that go? What does everyone?
Send money. Send money.
Send?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
I agree.
I think send. I agree. Send.
Yeah.
Users don't understand that on-chain is slower.
What is on-chain, by the way?
Yeah, go ahead, Millie.
Yeah, the transaction doesn't get confirmed instantly. It takes a little bit of time.
Okay.
I would.
Transaction section, I guess.
Sorry, I didn't understand, but I would say like receive and send.
Yeah, why not? We can put it under both. We can make two and put it under both. Sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
This one is. We've made a duplicate of this one, so that's good that we see that. I'll just delete this one. Users don't understand that transactions are not reversible.
Yes.
I'll just delete that one if everyone's okay with that, because I see we do have that one already.
Yeah. Yep. User have requested an onboarding process. We already have it there. Okay.
People new to Bitcoin don't understand the terminology used.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I guess we can use this in onboarding as well as in transaction section.
What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I almost think like if we create a bar underneath, there are certain elements here that might not fit into a specific place, but are really more of a sort of app-wide. Like 100%. For instance, not to jump to the solution, but sometimes it's the easiest way to frame. I think, and in my mind, it's like, oh, if you had the ability to tap a word and it explained it, that would be something that could be helpful in any phase that you're in.
And I love what you said, because those app-wide things, Andrew, we could then change it in the user flow diagram that we're creating into an actual bar. So we could make that into like a long rectangle and then type the text into it so that it means that's app-wide, if that makes sense, all the way along the user journey.
Yeah. Yep.
So that would be app-wide. We can make a note on that sticky, just say app-wide, so that we make that a long bar across the whole user journey.
Yep.
USD accounts in Lightning wallets is a new feature nobody knows about yet. Where do you?
That's somewhat in onboarding, like perhaps not onboarding the app itself, but onboarding, people to the future.
about the USD accounts. Yeah, is a new feature nobody knows about yet. So you feel like if we tell them about it in the onboarding process, they're going to be more. Good. He's muted himself.
No, sorry, I muted it. So if you want to mute yourself, feel free. But yeah.
Users have been asking how to track the transaction.
Yeah, so that's, I would say it's mostly send.
Sending, yeah, okay, makes sense, yeah.
Username has.
That feels a bit like it's onboarding or.
Interesting. I was going to say send.
You're going to say send because they use their username. Yeah, their username shows when they're sending.
Yeah, but I can.
First opportunity for the awareness of the username to come into the. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
But onboarding does make sense too.
That
like,
might be then under both.
Yeah.
Education in onboarding and also in the send flow, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Users of Bitcoin don't know how to scan the QR code. Well, that's once again under both. So that's Andrew's idea comes in beautifully there. Users don't know how to find their Lightning address easily in the app.
That's some sort of send and receive and onboarding, I feel.
Under all three. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll just make a note on that sticky before you move it.
Okay.
I'll just make a note that says send, receive, as well as
onboarding.
Onboarding. Okay.
There's something. So the Bitcoin Beach wallet has a earn section, which is like a learning. It's a education section, and it's going to be expanded. Like right now, it's just a few questions, like what is Bitcoin and what are Satoshis or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a need to separate onboarding from like learning or something. Just because like I feel like there's so much you could do in the learn section, which you could just drown out all of the other like normal onboarding activities. And so maybe we add
an education part onto the onboarding flow.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we add next to onboarding, we add like learn, and then that way we'll be able to see like what's the normal onboarding steps versus like
yeah, I like that. So I'll just
everything could be onboarding as well, right? Like, or rather learn as well. Like you could have a really robust like 25-part, Bitcoin education and
100%.
Bitcoin Beach wallet, and that would be perfectly fine for anybody that wants to. But you could also, yeah.
You know what I'll do for now? I'll call it onboarding/learning, and then once we've moved everything over, we can then split this one into two. As you said, we split it into learning, and then because I'm just looking at the time, we have 4 minutes. So I'm thinking it feels a bit like we could maybe finish these stickies and then think about what we could do as a next step after that.
Cool.
How does everyone feel about that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Let's go ahead and finish these ones. Okay. Users don't know how to hide their balance.
That's an interesting one. It almost feels like it would be like, no, maybe I'm saying home because like
send receive screen. It could also be on the transaction screen as well. If you guys have balance on the transaction screen, that is.
Yeah, but also there's the home page that has, you can see your account balance, right? So it would be in there too.
Is that app wide? Like that's kind of like it.
Fair. Oh yes, you're right.
So maybe add to that sticky note app wide so that we remember to make it like a long rectangular image.
I've put it in there like below app wide.
Cool. Users new to Bitcoin don't know why the fees are different for each transaction. Send and receive?
Um,
Or
I
send?
feel it's more a send
More send?
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Users don't want the fees to be deducted from the amount in their sending. That's send as well. Users are afraid of scams. Yeah. That one, you know, I would put that under onboarding, which is currently education. How do you guys feel about that? Onboarding slash education. Um,
Mm,
it's a
Maybe
bit,
onboarding and send. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Good one.
yeah.
know.
Good one.
I don't want to maybe think through the whole process, but there could be something in the send screen or something like that, warns against or, provides some information about when you're sending, like what to look for.
Yep. And then users don't know the difference between the Lightning Network and doing a transaction on chain. Okay. Hmm.
That would be send, receive, learning.
Yep. I'll make a note on that. That just I say send receive. Send receive, and it's all yours, Millie.
Oh, sorry, I already
Oh, all right.
copy it. But yeah. User don't know how to cash in.
Um, that's yeah. They call it cash out on some wallets. Um, okay.
That's it.
What do you mean by cash in? So that's when they take all of their funds, so they drain their wallet.
No, it's a user buying Bitcoin.
Oh, okay, okay.
I added it. Um, learning, I guess.
Learning, okay. And then the last one, users are wondering how they can retrieve their wallet if they lose their phone. Ooh, that feels like it's definitely onboarding, maybe, as well as another section. Um, we've done really well in this short space of time. Good job, everyone.
Um, I feel it would also be like in setup,
Set up and
authenticate the
authenticate.
wallet.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That brings us to the hour mark. Wow, that went quick. That was just you know, good job. Did you enjoy that, Satyam? This is obviously your first call. So how was that for you? You're muted. You're muted.
I literally enjoyed the process.
You did good. What did you enjoy about it?
The brainstorming and coming up with new ideas and and you give the app wide suggestions. So yeah, I literally I was also thinking parallelly and the thought of some other person in the meeting, like what I lack.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. I'll stop the recording and then we can maybe just have a discussion afterwards about what you guys would like to do as the next step or, how we can just continue this process. So, yeah, I will stop the recording.